Greetings and great morning. You know what day it is. Oh, we all know what day it is. It's Transformative Tuesday, y'all. As always, I'm Dennis R. Holder, Mr. Motivation, the CEO of Herald of Hope Books and Inspiration. And guess what? I'm coming to you. Each and every one of you with some words of encouragement, of uplifting, something to reignite the fire of your passion. Y'all, I'm trying to sharpen the blade of your mind, your body, and your spirit. So what am I asking you to do? Wake up and lend me your ears on this Transformative Tuesday. Here we are blessed with another Transformative Tuesday in the month of March. If you've been tuning in, our topic is simply being. Nobody has it easy. Oh, you don't hear me this morning. I said nobody has it easy. In this process of living, we all have our trials and our tribulations. We have our ups and we have our downs. We have our struggles and our situations that we all have to manage, endure, and strive to overcome. But on this Transformative Tuesday, I'm giving us some food for thought. Something to remind us that we all walk in these conditions. We all continue to endure in these situations. We all are looking to grow, learn, and evolve in the process of going forward. But guess what? None of us have that process easy. From the richest of us to the poorest of us, from the tall to the short, to the black to the white, whatever you stand along the spectrum of this thing called life, we all have our own sets of challenges that are meant to build our character. We all have our sets of circumstances that tend to try to push us out of our center or want to stay in the comfort zone of our lives. We all find ourselves up against the stresses and circumstances of life that try to push us around. But all we must endure because guess what? Nobody has it easy. So what am I saying to you in this month of March? I'm reminding us all that we got to hang in there. We got to stick to what we know. We got to continue to endure. Operate in faith. Hanging in there with hope. Continuing to go forward. Drive and resolve. And do that thing I'm always asking each and every one of y'all to do with me each and every Tuesday. Wake up and transform into your next best self. So our quote, hey, our food for thought won't come lacking today. Our quote simply states that never let someone's opinion of you, hey, become your reality. Oh, let me say that to you again. Never let someone's opinion of you become your reality. Now, this is what you're talking about this morning. Well, first, but I want to change things up today. Transformative Tuesday, hey, it's story time. Gather around. Mr. Motivation got a story to bring this food for thought together. Our quote simply stated, like I told you, that never let someone's opinion of you become your reality. Now, my story starts out with two little boys. Yes, these two little boys are playing near a icy lake, okay? Somewhere up north where it's good icy and it's frozen over. Now, this is not something out of the norm that they wouldn't do. They always play in this area. So these two little boys, about 10, 11 years old, are just used to playing ball out there, okay? So one of the little boys overthrows the football and it goes over to the center of the pond. Now, this is nothing out of norm, as I told you. Now, one of the little boys decides, you know what? Since I threw it, I'll go get it. He continues to walk out there and no problems. He's done this a couple times today. It hadn't bothered him. But lo and behold, on this time, as he gets to the center of that ice, hey, he finds himself falling through. He falls through and he just can't see his way out. He is starting to sink steadily up under the ice. His friend panics. His friend doesn't know what to do. He goes to the hole to where he saw him fall through, but he can't see him. The water's icy. The water's murky. He don't see where his friends went to. But then slowly, a little further down, he looks. He can see his friend put his little handprint up against the top of the ice. And he's trying to figure out, he's frantic because he hadn't seen an adult for miles because they've been out there playing. So he's looking around and wondering, what can I do? I can yell for help, but that won't help him. That won't get my friend out of here. He sees a log. I mean, I'm a huge logger. We talking about, like I told you, we 10, 11 years old. And I ain't talking about no stocky 10, 11 years old. I'm talking about 10, 11 years old. You know he can't handle this log. But he picks it up. He manages it. He drags it over to the center of this lake where he saw his friend put his handprint up against that ice. And he starts banging on that ice. I mean, he is banging on that ice for dear life. He is yelling at the top of his lungs until just thank God, by the grace of God, there happened to be a man in the woods with him. And he heard the young man come over there as he happened to break through and pull his young friend out, trying to cover him in his jacket, trying to help him get warm because the little boy's nice blue and just looked like he just done with his living if you ain't know no better, right? But thank God the gentleman was able to get some help there. They were able to get the emergency services there to help him out. And thank God he didn't pass away, right? So as they're taking care of these little boys and they applaud this little boy for his bravery and trying to hang in there and do what he can do, you find these policemen, you find these emergency professionals sitting there, and the medical professionals, and just a few men around the area sitting there talking and just wondering how in the world did this happen? Not that they didn't know that it's impossible to fall through ice, but how did this happen? How did this little boy, how was he able to save his friend's life? Because they looked at that log, they looked at the situation, they're like, that little boy shouldn't have been able to do that. In our opinion, hey, listen to that. In our opinion, this young man should not have been able to do this. One really sharp, one really wise, one really capable older gentleman takes a nice little puff of his pipe and he looks around at all the men in the group and he says to him, he says simply, so all of y'all have not figured out how this happened. They all stopped because the old man hadn't said anything up to this point. He said, so you're telling me none of y'all understand why or how this young man was able to do this? They're all sitting still looking, everybody's in awe. To finally somebody speaks up and says, sir, you want to explain it to us. Tell us how this young man was able to pick up this log, break this ice out and save his friend. The old man says simply, he said, I'll tell y'all simply why he was able to do it. Because nobody was around to tell him he couldn't. Nobody told him he was too small to pick that log up. Nobody told him that wouldn't help. Nobody told him that there was no way he could save his friend's life. He might as well let it go. He hung in there. He didn't need someone else's opinion of the fact that he could save his friend's life. He didn't need to panic. He didn't need to run around like a chicken with his head cut off. He didn't need to act like he didn't know his friend was in danger. He looked around, took stock, took inventory, of what was around for him to use. And he used it to save his friend's life. Guess what? Because he didn't let somebody else's opinion of him being so small, of him not being strong enough, become his reality. Because he saved his friend's life and he endured toward the end. Now, Dennis, what you're saying to us here, so many of us in the process of living our lives, when I remind us that nobody has it easy, you will give in to the circumstance of hearing people saying, if I was you, I wouldn't do that. In my opinion, I don't think you should do it that way. Now, hear me out. Mr. Motivation is not saying that you don't need to take constructive criticism. I need you to know the difference. Opinions are someone just speaking into your life recklessly, for me, if they don't consider who they're talking to. But someone who's constructively speaking to you, they're telling you where you're wrong, where you're misstepping, where you're losing out on where you're going in your life, because they want to see better from you. They want to help build you up and not see your life veer in the wrong direction. Instead of just speaking out things, if I was you, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't try that. I wouldn't venture out and start that business. This ain't the time to start no business. I wouldn't invest money in that situation. Who do you think you are doing that? I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that. Oh, no. That is their opinion. But you also need to realize the difference between opinions and constructive criticism. What I want to remind us on this Tuesday, as I say it to you over and over, never let someone's opinion of you become your reality. I'm reminding us that I read an article just a couple weeks ago that it says, do you know that if you hear a negative comment from somebody who's telling you, I don't think you can do this, I don't think you're capable, there's no way you'll accomplish this, on and on and on, do you realize that one negative thought, that one negative opinion, that one negative insert into your life, it takes at least 20 to 25 positive affirmations of what you want to allow your mind to change. Do you hear what I'm saying? From one negative thought, from one negative bad seed being planted, from one lack of possibility or lack of potential for you to grow, you hear that one time, your mind embraces it. It takes it on. But it takes 20, 25, 30 positive affirmations, positive encouragements, positive uplifting to allow your life to push forward. What am I saying to us on this day? You cannot let others' opinion become your reality. You got to know that you know. You got to know that you have faith. You got to know that you have hope. You got to know that you can make a way. And if you don't know you can make a way, know that a way is being made for you because you're more than a conqueror. You're greater than the situation that you face. You don't have to just give in. You don't just have to go through. You don't have to just settle for what is. Nobody has it easy, but they don't give you a right to panic. They don't give you a right to fuss. They don't give you a right to give in to negativity. You have to continue to fight on. Might I remind us that negative thoughts, negative aspirations, negativity, and all these possibilities, and all this presentation, don't require effort. You realize nobody has to teach a child how to lie. Children they figure it out. Little Johnny, did you eat that cookie? No, I didn't. Little Johnny got crumbs all over his mouth. You realize that nobody has to talk you into talking down on yourself. We have to remind each other, hey, to speak up on one another. You can tear yourself down all day long. Man, you didn't get this done. Man, what are you trying to do with your life? Where are you going? Oh, no. Nobody has to teach you that. But the things we have to teach each other is to uplift yourself, encourage yourself, be optimistic in the process of living your life. This is what I'm talking about. You can't let somebody else's opinion of you, hey, become your reality. In fact, one of my favorite sayings my pop used to always say is somebody else's opinion of you anyway, good or bad, it ain't none of your business anyway. Because if it's good, great. Okay, I'm trying to be a good person myself. In fact, if you say good things about me, that's good. I'm not saying it in a braggadocious way. I'm saying it because I'm trying to live my right as a better man. I'm striving to grow, have drive, resolve, uplift my community, be the best version of myself each and every day. If you say something bad about me, what am I supposed to do? That's your opinion of me. That's your thought of me at that time. If you're trying to help me improve and you share that with me, okay, Dennis, I didn't like the way you kind of came at me. Didn't appreciate your attitude, Dennis. You seemed a little negative that day. That means because you expect more from me. But if you're just trying to tear me down, hey, if you're just trying to push me down, oh, if you're just trying to make my life difficult for no reason, well, guess what? You can keep that to yourself. Because I pray that you never let someone else's opinion of you become your reality. Pick up the log in your life and keep fighting. Break through that ice, and guess what? You ain't getting your friend, you getting yourself out. You getting your finances out. You getting your goals and dreams and aspirations out. You getting yourself out of debt when you break that hole. You consider to push yourself forward and raise yourself up to reach into your greater dreams. Because guess what? Nobody told you couldn't. We don't know what we can't do. Let me say that to you again. We don't know what we can't do. We know what we don't want to do. We know what we'd rather not do. We know what we've been through. But we don't know what we can't do just yet. Never let someone else's opinion of you never become your reality. You are more than what you know. I'm talking to you this morning. You're more than what you think you are. You're greater than the situation, circumstance that you face. I'm telling you this morning, you will rise to the occasion of your life if you choose to. Nobody has it easy. Stop comparing. Stop complaining. Let's get to work. Let's put the drive, the resolve, and that heart to work. It does no good to have drive, to have resolve, to have heart if you're not going to apply it. If you're not going to raise your gaze with greater expectations. If you're not going to operate each and every day with a vision of what you want to see coming to fruition of your life. Because you do know we're not having it easy. You got to envision greater things to come. You do know with that vision, you got to put excellent effort. Excellent insight into what you want to do, application of the things that you've learned. You do know that you have to continue to raise your expectations and live a life of greater purpose because you know greater days are coming. Nobody has it easy. But I tell you what, I remind you of this. as I prepare to close us out and allow you to get your Transformative Tuesday going forward and growing forward here, I want to remind you of this, that everybody will always have an opinion of everything you're doing. Everybody's opinion, every insight is not to help uplift you. Some people just want to tear you down. And might I remind you, truly busy people, truly ambitious people, truly people who are trying to grow, to evolve, and transform into the next best selves, guess what? They don't make time to tear people down. They try to reach their hand out and lift them up. So I pray on this Transformative Tuesday, that you reach your hand out, lift up your fellow man, encourage yourself, and continue to realize that you never have to let someone's opinion of you become your reality. And I pray that each and every one of you, yes, each and every one of you, be blessed on this Transformative Tuesday.